Hello there. I've just recently finished a series on YouTube, which was about sun through the houses. So I did the videos there, but I think I'm going to do going forward, do more, expand on those videos for Patreon people. So here we are, folks. So sun in the first house. Now we can actually talk about different types of because I'm going to show you different charts and you can see like how let's do, here we go. So here we have Kate Blanchett. So Kate Blanchett has sun and moon in the first house, and also if you actually I've also started the moon through the houses too, so I will come back to that. But obviously when you have sun and moon together in the first house, I mean, look at that, that's pretty amazing what she has in her first house. Saturn is there as well, but Saturn is debilitated. So let's have a look at her first house. We're just really mainly concerned about her sun being there. Sun for an Aries ascendant, and she is her fifth house ruler, which is obviously a trinal house ruler in the first house. So it's a really good Raja Yoga. And at the same time, it's obviously there with her. She also has like 10th house ruler in the first house, Saturn, 11th house ruler in the first house, which is again another yoga. It's a Dana yoga. And then she's got a combination of them as well. So she's got 11th house ruler with the 5th house, which is a trinal house, which is again another Dana yoga. And then also, so she's got also like 4th and 5th house rulers as well. So she's got multiple things going on, which is all created through herself, you know, sun being her soul, her intelligence, her vitality, and her soul's journey. It's all aligned. What her moon wants, her sun wants, and her career. Like she is her career. Everything in alignment there. They are in different nakshatras, which makes a difference. So her ascendant is Bharani, so more Venusian, but it's quite a harsh nakshatra, as is Kritika actually, her son's nakshatra. But nonetheless, so it goes to show she's a go-getter. She's very, very, very confident, having the sun in the first house, 5th house rule in the first house, intelligent. She's very creative, obviously, because 5th house is media, it's film, it's 3rd from 3rd. So she is very, go-getter as such. So she has, let's see what she also has. She also has 2 benefics aspect in her, hem in her first house. So she has Venus, an exalted Venus, and Mercury. Mercury being her 3rd and 6th lord. It's not a good planet for Aries, but nonetheless, though, it is in a friendly sign. And the dispositor there is also exalted. And also the dispositor for all of these is retrograde. So she, but nonetheless, though, Mars is in own house, is strong. So it goes to show that there's a 6. She's quite secretive about her life. There are things going on behind the scenes that we don't know. She also got Rahu in the 12th house, Venus in the 12th house, all of those indicating quite a lot of secretive things going on. And which could be to do with relationships. Also, Venus rules her 2nd house of money, so she could have some secret things going on with money. She'll be good at spending too, because obviously 12th house is also spending. But nonetheless, that we want to really stick to that sun today. So sun in the first house, exalted. This will be somebody who is optimistic and knows everything will be working out okay. They don't sweat their small stuff. But what they like to do is that they like to do things according to what sits right with them. That's what you've got to understand. Somebody who has a strong sun in their chart, it's all about them. it is meant to be all about them because that is their soul. So they are very, very aware of themselves. And this is what I want to do, and this is the time I want to do it. So if you have arranged to meet or go and pick them up in a car and they're not ready, you have to wait for them, because Sun is the king. And having the king in your first house, you are the king. You are royalty. You are the important one, the leader. So there we are. So that is what's happening there. It's interesting to see now. We go and just see how the sun pans out in her actual. What is that dignity of that sun? Sun is actually in the Navamsha, sitting in a friendly sign. It's in the third house, so it's a malefic sitting in a Upachara house. So it's pretty good. So it just actually shows that the way she communicates with her partner is very authoritative. She has got to have the last say. And obviously Sagittarius is also a little bit like righteous as well, so it's quite interesting. But her dispositor, not only is it retrograde, because her Mars was retrograde as well, so she's quite passive on the outside, but she's strong, nonetheless though, she's got like, in her fourth house, she's got Venus, which Venus has got directional strength in the fourth house. It's also sitting in a friendly sign. Jupiter is debilitated, Mars is exalted. So they kind of cancel each other out in a sense. But having 3 planets in the fourth house, it's a little bit like pulling and tugging. But she's overall, she's gives happiness having Venus in the fourth house. They are very, very much into their family. And they just know how to enjoy life. And all of those planets are actually aspecting her 10th house as well. So she's probably quite home loving. I think she's Australian, so she probably loves being at home, back home with her family and visiting. Her partner is probably from her hometown, from Australia as well, I would imagine. And so that goes to show this positive is not strong. Jupiter is debilitated, but it's sitting with an exalted Mars, and Mars is 2nd and 7th house ruler, so it rules and it's so it creates really good yogas there anyway, so pretty good. So that's the first one. Penelope Cruz, I thought we could do next. So Penelope Cruz has sorry about that, in her first house, again another Aries ascendant. She has, again, 5th house ruler in the first house. So she is, again, another very creative, artistic, expressive soul. This time with Mercury. So she's highly intelligent. The combination of Sun and Mercury is pretty dynamic. And actually, I wouldn't consider 8 degrees to be, 7.5 degrees to be too bad, really, between the 2 planets. So I would say she very expressive, very, very intelligent, knows exactly how to communicate what she wants. Again, very much aware of herself, what sits right with her or not. But she's more expressive than Kate Winslet was. So she's not shy about saying what she wants and when she wants it, that kind of thing. The first house ruler has gone into 3rd house, and 3rd house ruler into the 1st house. So she's very, very artistic, creative, master of many tricks. She's probably can sing, dance. Obviously, she can act. She can write. Very good. All of those planets there. So, but it's a really, really strong sun there. It's just at 10 degrees. Sun is exalted in Aries, but in this one it's 14 degrees, so very close to the exaltation sign degree. So it's very it's amazing. And Sun and Mercury work really well together. It's Mercury in it's an exchange with Mars. They don't really get on, and it's also sitting in Mars, so it gives you, she's quite impulsive. And obviously Mercury also sitting with a mild malefic, so she's quite impulsive. She probably does things without really thinking them through as well. But she's intellectual. Mercury is intellectual, has directional strength in the 1st house, and Sun is exalted. So my goodness, that is pretty amazing. Sorry, I didn't actually put that on your, so you can see the two. So yeah, there we are. So you can see the North Indian chart as well. Yes. So, but let's have a look at her Navamsha. So in her Navamsha, she's got Sun in the 4th house, Mercury still, in the 1st house. But look at that, it's an exchange between 1st and 2nd house. So marriage will immediately start her earning money. Moon Venus, what an amazing combination. It's a really good Raja Yoga in Gemini. Amazing. So family, siblings, friends are really important to her. And she keeps in constant, she must be on the telephone all the time, because that is really, that's a lot of planets in both D1 and D9 in Gemini. So she's highly communicative, highly artistic. She probably would make a really good teacher as well. And she's got Sun in the 4th house. And that's 4th house, you want to have, but it's a very comfortable planet there. So, she probably got a very grand house, almost like a palace. But it is like she can be, Sun in the 4th house is quite private. I've done a video about that as well. So you can actually put the two combinations together as we go along and see what's going on. So she probably has many properties actually, because Sun is her air MK as well. It just gives you property, and so she's got like an exalted 7th house lord in the 9th house. Very good. So, and that Sun is being also aspected by Mars, so that would be an indication, because Mars is land and 4th house is property, home. So yeah, she's got several properties there. Now, let's have a look at the last one, Gordon Ramsay. Okay, let me change that. Here we have, so you've got, it's unbelievable that he's got Venus in the 1st house. Anyway, so there's a look at that. That Venus is totally combust as Cazimi. That is big, 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 big money. Cazimi, that's what it means. Particularly when Venus or Jupiter are seriously combust like that. It does burn quite a lot of indications of that planet. However, it's very good for wealth in the 1st house as well. That Sun might be debilitated, but it's also 11th house lord in the 1st house. Very strong Raja Yoga with the 1st lord. 8th house as well, which is Sun and gains too. So in the 1st house. So yeah, amazing. So his is 11th house ruler in the 1st house. So it's a strange one with Libra ascendant. It seems as though the more they go for money, accolades, qualifications, the more they network and try and sort of hang around with very influential people, because he does. He's got a lot of influential, maybe even people who are kind of what you might call from previous life, because K2, but many politicians is probably very friendly with many of them. When you have that situation, then you know that actually, it can be quite difficult for him as well. So it's not all roses. I would definitely say that. And but these are all sitting in Vishaka, which is Jupiter Nakshatra, not very comfortable for Venus. However, what happens there is this is a very victorious nakshatra, Vishaka is, and the actual lord of that is, look at that, exalted in the 10th house. So pretty amazing. There's a 3rd and 6th house ruler where 6th house cooking, being a chef, you're literally serving people all day long. So he's probably a very hard worker. And 3rd house ruler as well, which is all to do with all your skills with your hands. And very good, very, very good. And what I wanted to say also is, like, his ascendant is Chitra. So he's got his ascendant and the Sun and his Venus, all of those 1st house ruler in the 1st house with the Sun, soul planet, because he likes to be seen and shine. and ascendant. So he's very much in line with that, and that's exactly what he should have done in this lifetime. That's where he left off last lifetime, and he's here to show that now. He's Chitra ascendant. The Chitras are quite manipulative, actually. Just wanted to say that, you know, nothing against anything, but they are very calculating in if somebody has uses, you got to use Chitra well, because otherwise it can go quite wrong. But Chitra on the Virgo side is a little bit more manipulative and calculating. Everything they do is to do with what's in it for them. For better, for worse, they can actually do some awful things. There are in history, there have been many who have actually abused the Chitra thing. It's a bright star apparently, but it can be a bright star for themselves and not for anybody else. So anyway, so that is that, and let's see where it goes now. So in his that sun is exalted. Look at that, with Venus in his 6th house. So shows that he wants to excel. He's very, very competitive. It's his 10th house ruler in the 6th house, through hard work, getting rid of all the obstacles, and like literally he probably is competitive with his wife, other people, business partners. He's like argumentative, you know. Through that he wins, because he's got to win, because it is like literally it's all about him. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.